Good morning, Sacramento. Today we're talking a little bit about a magical place called Elk Grove that you might have heard of. We're going to hit you a little bit about 2022, what it's looking like in Elk Grove, California, if you're looking to buy and sell and all that kind of fun stuff. So if Elk Grove is a spot for you, let's talk about it.
Welcome to Sacramento's #1 YouTube channel for all real estate news regarding Sacramento and the surrounding areas. So if that's you, hit that subscribe button and that bell will bring you bi-weekly content. We also go live every Wednesday at 5:30. So tune in, let's get going, and let's talk a little Sacramento right now.
Okay, guys, before we get started, just wanted a quick announcement. We are on Spotify. So for you that love Spotify, we'll be releasing videos like this and going live as well as Spotify. So subscribe. All right, today we're talking Elk Grove, California. Now, Elk Grove tends to be one of the more popular areas in the Sacramento that we get a lot of calls for. Now, why is that, right? A lot of people look at Elk Grove. It's a little flat. It's a little bit removed from the Sacramento metro area. There's some reasons why people love it. Well, here are some reasons why people love it. Number one is, for the most part, it is the closest part of Sacramento to the Bay Area. Okay, but all that aside and everything too, and in this video, you're not going to hear a lot of fluff. You're going to hear the real deal about Elk Grove. It's a great place to buy a house that's not completely skyrocketed out of control as far as areas like a Folsom, El Dorado, or a Rockland. In Elk Grove, you can still probably get a 3-bedroom, 2-bath for under $500,000. Now, it'll be a fight tooth and nail to get that house, but you can still do it. Folsom, can't really do that. Roseville, you can't really do that as much. I would say Rockland, El Dorado Hills, you really can't do it. So for affordability, for location, for kind of schools, that whole 9 yards, Elk Grove still tends to be that spot. I mean, honestly, in Elk Grove, California, at this right now, you could probably get yourself a 3,500 square foot house for about maybe $800,000. Now, if you look anywhere else, like your Folsoms, like I mentioned before, you're not going to find that. So Elk Grove tends to be a very, very nice choice. Like I said, it has its perks. Elk Grove has wineries. Crazy as it sounds, it has wineries. Its proximity to downtown. You can get to Elk Grove pretty much on a bunch of different ways. You can go on Bradshaw, you can go down Sunrise, Grant Line, Highway 5, Highway 99. So there's a lot of different ways to get in Elk Grove. Now, on this video, we're going to talk about the 3 main zip codes: 95757, 95758, and 95624. We're going to talk a little bit about what's been happening in Elk Grove 2021 and how it's looking for 2022 if you're someone who's actually looking to buy in Elk Grove. First of all, let's talk about the 95757. It's one of the more popular zip codes in Elk Grove. It's where we get a majority of the calls for. Franklin schools are over there. People just love them as well. New building has gone crazy. You got Lennar, Essentia out there. Taylor Morrison built a nice community in Madera Meadows. We'll talk a little bit about that as well. So 757 is great. Now, if you're looking for those man-made lakes that you've seen in some of my videos I've done, you're probably looking at Laguna 95758. Great area, man-made lakes. Crazy as it seems, Sacramento, Elk Grove does have these man-made lakes, are awesome. Bartholomew Park is a soccer field surrounded by lakes, which is pretty cool for the kids. Great place to walk. I love Laguna. I think it's fantastic. And then you got 95624, which is more towards Sheldon, Grant Line. It's more like kind of like upscale. You have $1 million homes in that area too, but you have really like nice kind of farm properties out there as well. That's where a lot of the land is kind of developed. Eventually there's going to be a freeway between Elk Grove and El Dorado Hills. So that area is going to be popping. Now, the negative about the 624 is internet. A lot of times when you buy in those areas, you're going to see these amazing houses, but for the most part, what's going to end up happening is that if you don't check, you're going to be on FrontierNet. FrontierNet is satellite. It is slow. It makes you wish you had 14.4 modem. So just be careful if you're buying in the 624. You see this amazing house on 4 acres. It's a new built house and it's awesome. Now, if someone's thinking about building in Elk Grove, which I do think is something that a lot of people were getting calls from as well for custom homes. Before, we were getting people calling for Rockland, Folsom, Serrano. Now we're getting some people calling from Elk Grove. I like that idea. Number one is I do think once that freeway comes in between El Dorado Hills and Elk Grove, that area is just going to be a great spot to put your money. Now, the other thing too I like about Elk Grove is that it's flat. Areas like Serrano, Folsom, and Rockland, you have to deal with grading. Permitting can be a little tough in Serrano as well. Elk Grove tends to be very, very flat. So if you're thinking about building and then maybe buying a piece of land and building in Elk Grove, you're looking probably around $250 a square foot if you can find the right builder. And of course, we've got a great builder list in Elk Grove, California. Okay, so let's talk about the various zip codes: 757, 758, 624. Now, for the 757 you're talking about, it's super crazy right now, right? If you see houses, and like we'll look at some data right now. Okay, so currently it is March 4th, 2022, and there is a whopping 73 listings for all the 3 zip codes that I'm talking about in Elk Grove, California. Competition is super, super fierce. So what that means to you is your realtor should have a conversation sooner than later, talking a little bit about maybe dealing with the appraisal. Maybe you have to waive it. Maybe you have to get an appraisal, waiver. Maybe you have to do something about the loan, shorten up the inspection time. It's really, really a cutthroat market in Elk Grove. And for the most part, for the reasons why I mentioned previous in the video. Now, let's cruise over here. This is where Elk Grove is located. This is kind of a little bit the reason why people like Elk Grove, because it is very south in Sacramento. And like I said, closest to the Bay Area. There are some back roads you can actually get out there as well. Not super quick. I mean, about an hour and a half still. But at the same time, people like it because a lot of people are still doing that day commute. Now, here's a little closer snapshot of Elk Grove right now. So as you can see, you can get to it from the 5, you can get to it from the 99. Now, we're talking Elk Grove right now has probably gained between, within the last couple of years, probably about $150,000 to $200,000 appreciation on houses, depending on square footage and all this kind of stuff. I still think in Elk Grove for 3 and 2, you can probably get something under 500. Probably and depending on square footage and upgrades and everything too, for a 4 and 2 in Elk Grove, you're probably looking at around 600 and under for something you can move into that's, just not a complete gut, gives you some decent square footage. So that's kind of what you're looking for. And a lot of people who have grown up in Sacramento might be saying, oh my God, that's crazy for Elk Grove. But if you're a Bay Area buyer, 650, 4-bedroom, 2-bath, maybe around 2,700 square feet, that is not really too bad of a deal. So that's kind of why a lot of people from the Bay Area love the Elk Grove market. Not to mention, it is a stone's throw from downtown. Not really a stone's throw. Depending on traffic, it can be a little bit of a bear. But geography-wise, it's pretty close to downtown. All right, let's look at the 757. This is a 757. Like I said, one of the more popular areas and zip codes looked at by people. Now, what we're going to see also in the 757, and we'll talk a little bit about this later, is the casino. Casino is being built in 95757. They've even got an Instagram account, which is super crazy. So we're talking the 757 has a Franklin Schools. It has a casino. If you go to the new home builders out there like Madera Meadows or Lennar Essentia and Elements, they're probably going to tell you, hey, casino is going to be fantastic for the economy. I'm not sure, and I think it's one of those things where we're going to see when it happens. I do think the school district is a lot of reasons why people choose the 757, and they love that zip code. Now over here, we're looking at Laguna. This is my 758, and this is the man-made lakes right here. Really, really nice. And if you look right on that green kind of thing between the lakes, that's Bartholomew Park, which is really, really nice. Now that area, it's hard to find a house on the water there, but if you can get anywhere in Laguna, you're going to have that nice tranquil feeling. It's a nice area, and I think in Laguna you're looking at maybe like under 600. You can probably get it done without like being, on the water. I'd say probably over 6 if you're looking for something on the water, depending on square footage, depending on rooms. Like I said, guys, we always have a list of homes in all the various zip codes, so feel free to reach out. All right, and let's look at the 624. Okay, 624 is a lot more rural, Sheldon, near Wilton, near Vineyard. It's a nice area, and in my opinion, honestly, it's like if you're looking for a little bit more land, maybe building a custom home, being in an area where I do think that once the freeway comes in between Elk Grove and El Dorado Hills, I think that area is really going to be doing nicely for your money. You're also going to see some $1 million homes over there. Some newer homes were built there. That's where you saw the $1 million homes maybe like, maybe 10 years ago, 5 years ago being built out there. Really nice estate homes. So that's kind of what you're looking at in Elk Grove. Oh, another thing about the 758 or 757, 957, let's go back. 95757 is this is where you're probably going to find the steepest Melrose. So Melrose is a taxable bond, and you can actually search for it. So if you are looking for a house in Elk Grove and you're saying to yourself, I heard Melrose, I heard this guy Mark talk about Melrose, you can actually go to the county's website, type in the address, find the tax bill for the previous year, and figure out exactly what the Melrose are. Now, Your tax bill is going to change because of this crazy appreciation we've had in the market, but for the most part, that's what we're looking at. All right, here is that casino that I was talking about, 95757. All right, so this casino is going to be, it's got an Instagram account and everything. So this is the casino that everyone's been talking about in Elk Grove, Sky River. It looks really, really nice. And like I said, we have some casinos already in the Sacramento metro area. This one, location-wise, I think it's going to be closer to Elk Grove than a lot of the other casinos that we see like in Lincoln and whatnot. It's going to be interesting how this actually affects the economy, how this actually affects housing prices. I'm not 100% sure, but this is definitely something that if you're thinking about moving to Elk Grove, you should be aware of. Like I said, guys, anything mentioned in this video, I'm free for a quick call. Reach out to our team. Like I said, we work the Elk Grove market as well. So if you guys are looking for a team to list your home or work with you to get into a home in Elk Grove, literally, I got about half the realtors on my cell phone that I can call in Elk Grove. So it's not bad. All right, so here we go. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't talk about one of the hottest developments in the 757, which is Taylor Morrison's Madera Meadows, Valencia, Seville, and Barcelona. This development just blew up. It actually was different than most developments in Elk Grove because it started focusing on houses that were close to 4,000 square feet. Actually, the Drake, is over 4,000 square feet if done with the right upgrades, models, attachments, casitas, all that stuff. So what they noticed right now is the fact that the larger homes were selling and became some of their more popular floor plans. Drake, the Sawyer, they're still looked at right now some of the hottest and most popular floor plans in all of Elk Grove. So the thing that's really, really nice, if you're familiar with Elk Grove, there is a road called Bilby Road, which Taylor has actually bought a bunch of acres there as well and plans to break ground on another community. Now, my guess and my gut, considering what they've done in Roseville, we're going to see a lot of larger floor plans. So stay tuned. If you're someone who maybe missed out on Madera Meadows and you're thinking to yourself, I love Elk Grove, I still would love to get myself a brand new nice square footage house in Elk Grove, California, I would say stay tuned for that new Taylor Morrison development happening in Elk Grove. There has been rumors too, Lennar is going to be doing big floor plans as well in Elk Grove in the 757, so stay tuned. Elk Grove's got a lot of land. There's going to be a ton more building, a ton more development. I'd say the things you got to watch out for in Elk Grove is Mellows. They could go up higher than 350 a month. I would say also just the casino. Just make sure you know where that's being built and where you plan on buying. I would say if you're thinking about making an offer or you're thinking about jumping into Elk Grove's market, inventory is super low and you'll probably have to deal with the appraisal here or there. Jumping into a house, you need a very aggressive realtor like us. And that's it, guys. So this is a little bit of a snapshot of what we're looking at for Elk Grove 2022, the Sacramento metro area. So whether you're living in Sacramento, moving to Sacramento, and Elk Grove is your jam, we are the team to work with to get you there. Like the video, subscribe, all that kind of fun stuff. Until next time, guys, this is Mark. Have a good one. I'll see you in the next video.
Guess what, guys? The video just ended. But don't worry, we have more videos just like that one right over there. And if you missed that red subscribe button during the course of the video, we got you covered right there. Hit that subscribe button. We promise to bring you some amazing content. We won't let you down. Now, if you're looking for a team in the Sacramento metro area to work with, we'd love to talk to you one-on-one. We always include a Zoom link down below, so book a time where we can talk to you a little one-on-one, find out exactly what your real estate needs are.